birth of a stranger. A gentle giraffe walked slowly along a dusty road. Her steps were heavy. She was weak, for she was carrying new life inside her. The mother giraffe's long legs trembled as she made her way to the shade of a tall acacia tree. There, with the wind whispering through the leaves and the birds watching silently, she gave birth. A small, fragile baby giraffe tumbled into the world. The calf blinked its large eyes, confused by the brightness of the day. It tried to stand, its long legs wobbling like twigs in the wind. But slowly, shakily, it found its footing. "Welcome, my little one. You are my heart, my strength, my reason." The mother looked at her child with endless love. But her own body was weak, drained from the birth. Hunger gnawed at her belly. She knew she must search for food to gain the strength to care for her little one. She hesitated. She turned back to her baby. "Stay here, my love. I'll be back soon." And with one last nuzzle, she walked away into the tall grass. But fate, cruel and strange, was waiting nearby. Not far from the tree, a lion walked alone. His golden mane swayed with the breeze. Unlike the other lions of his pride, this lion was not hunting today. He was simply wandering, lost in his own thoughts. When he saw the baby giraffe, lying small and defenseless under the tree, his eyes widened. The lion could have leapt, could have ended the baby's story in an instant, but something stirred in his heart. This little one, is he lost? Has his mother left him? He looks so helpless. The lion took a step closer, then another. The baby giraffe looked up at him, trembling. "Ma!" The lion stopped. His chest ached. He had never heard such a sound before. Not prey, not fear, something else. "Don't be afraid, little one. I will not harm you." In that moment, the lion made a choice that would change both their lives forever. He bent down, licked the dust from the baby giraffe's fur, and nudged him to stand. And so, the king of hunters became the guardian of the hunted. When the mother giraffe returned, her heart froze. She saw the lion standing beside her baby. She galloped forward, ready to defend her calf with her life. "Stay away from him!" But the baby giraffe stumbled toward the lion, pressing against his side as though he belonged there. The mother giraffe stopped. Her legs shook. Her heart ached. The lion met her eyes. "Fear not. He is safe with me. I will protect him as my own." The mother giraffe's breath caught in her throat. She wanted to scream, to fight, to take her baby back. But deep down, she saw something in the lion's gaze, something she never thought she would see in the eyes of a predator. Compassion. The baby giraffe nuzzled the lion again, bleating softly. "Ma!" But it was not the giraffe he was calling to. It was the lion. And so, under the same tree where he was born, the little giraffe's fate was rewritten. No longer a calf of the wild, but a child of the pride. The lion carried him back to his family, where the other lions stared in disbelief. Some growled, some laughed. But the lion stood tall and declared, "This one is mine. He will live among us. He will be my son." And though the pride was confused, none dared to challenge him. From that day on, the baby giraffe grew not among giraffes, but among lions. He learned their ways, their play, their rules. But he was always different. He could not roar like them. His teeth were too blunt for meat. His legs were too long, too clumsy for the chase. And though the lions loved him, he never forgot that he was not one of them. Seasons passed, and the little giraffe grew tall and graceful under the watchful care of his lion family. His legs stretched long, his neck rose higher than the thorn bushes, and his eyes shone with innocence. The lions accepted him in their own way. The lion cubs tumbled with him in the grass, wrestling and biting playfully at his legs. At night, he curled beside his adoptive mother, the lioness who had fed him, and listened to the deep rumble of lions roaring under the stars. But even in his happiest moments, the giraffe felt a quiet ache inside. One evening, as the cubs played, he tried to join in. He leapt, awkward and tall, his legs tangling as he fell to the ground. The cubs laughed. "Your legs are too long. You'll never pounce like us." Another cub wrinkled his nose. "And your teeth? You can't even chew meat. What kind of lion are you?" The giraffe's ears drooped. He looked to the lioness, his adoptive mother, for comfort. She licked his cheek tenderly. "Hush, little one. You are mine, and that is all that matters." But in the giraffe's heart, questions burned. Later that night, while the pride slept, the young giraffe stood under the silver moon. He gazed at his reflection in a pool of water. Giraffe, whispering to himself, "Why am I not like them? Why do my legs stretch to the sky while theirs are short and strong? Why can't I roar? Why can't I hunt?" The night offered no answers, only silence. Days turned into weeks, and the giraffe could not escape his differences. During hunts, the lions ran swift and low, their paws silent against the earth. He tried to follow, but his long legs crashed through the grass, startling prey before the lions could pounce. "Stay back, little one. Hunting is not for you. You'll only spoil the chase." The giraffe lowered his head in shame. And so, while the pride feasted on fresh kills, he lingered at the edge, nibbling quietly on leaves from the trees. Alone, though his belly was full, his heart was empty. He was cared for yet not understood. One afternoon, as the sun poured golden light over the plains, the young giraffe wandered away from the pride. He felt the need to be alone, to breathe away from the weight of his difference. He walked and walked, his hooves pressing softly into the earth, until he heard a sound drumming hooves, many of them, like thunder rolling over the ground. He turned his head and gasped. A herd of zebras rushed past, black and white stripes flashing against the grasslands. They galloped gracefully, moving as one. Their laughter and calls filled the air like music. The giraffe's heart pounded. His eyes widened with wonder. Giraffe whispering, amazed. They look like me. Long legs, tall bodies. They run together, not alone. He stepped forward, but the herd was gone in a blur of stripes and dust. Still, the image burned in his mind. He hurried home, his steps light with excitement, and rushed to his adoptive mother. Giraffe, breathless, eager. "Mother, I saw them. I saw animals like me. They were so beautiful, so free. They looked like family." The lioness's heart clenched. Fear gripped her chest. Mother lioness, voice trembling. "No, my son, do not dream of them. They are not your family. We are. The pride is all you need." Tears filled her golden eyes as she pressed her head against his neck. Mother lioness, whispering, breaking. "Don't leave me. Please, don't leave me." The giraffe froze. He had never seen his mother cry. Her sorrow struck him deeper than words. He loved her, truly. She had raised him, protected him, fed him when he was helpless. But inside, his heart whispered still, "I am not like them. I don't belong here." That night, as the pride slept, he lay awake under the stars, staring at the horizon where the zebras had disappeared. The world had shown him a glimpse of where he might belong. But love and loyalty tied him to the pride. He was torn between two truths, the one he was born to, and the one that raised him. And in his heart, the question grew louder. Who am I? The days that followed were heavy for the young giraffe. He tried to smile with the lions, to laugh with the cubs, to lie in the sun beside his mother. But his thoughts kept returning to the herd of zebras that thundered past him that day. Their stripes, their beauty, their unity, he could not forget. One morning, when the pride still dozed in the tall grass, the giraffe quietly rose to his feet. His legs trembled with both fear and hope. He looked at his mother one last time, her golden coat glowing in the rising sun, her chest rising and falling in soft sleep. Giraffe, whispering to himself, "Forgive me, mother, but I must see them again. I must know who I am." He walked away, his long legs carrying him through the plains. The air was fresh with dew, and the grass brushed softly against his sides. Birds flew above him, calling to one another as though guiding him forward. He searched for hours. The sun climbed high, and sweat glistened on his spotted coat. He lifted his head, scanning the horizon, but there were no zebras, only silence, only emptiness. He walked further, desperate, his heart beating with longing. Every sound of hoofbeats made him turn. Every shadow in the grass made him hope. Yet every time, it was nothing. At last, he climbed a small hill and stood tall, gazing across the wide savanna. The wind tugged gently at his mane, and the world seemed both vast and lonely. Giraffe softly, voice breaking, "Where are you? Why did you leave? Am I the only one?" Tears welled in his great brown eyes. They rolled slowly down his cheeks as he lowered his head. He thought of the zebra's laughter, their graceful legs, their belonging. He thought of how he had felt for that brief moment that maybe he too could belong. But now, all was gone. His long legs bent, and he sank to the earth, curling his neck against his body. And there, in the quiet of the plains, the young giraffe cried. He cried for what he had lost. He cried for what he had never truly known. He cried for himself caught between two worlds, belonging to neither. After a time, when his tears had dried, he rose again. His steps were heavy, slow, as he made his way back to the pride. When he arrived, the lions welcomed him as though he had never left. The cubs pounced at his legs, the lioness licked his cheek, and even Simba, the strongest of the pride, nodded at him in quiet respect. But the giraffe's heart felt hollow. That night, lying under the stars beside his adoptive mother, he whispered his sorrow. "Mother, today I went looking for them, for the animals like me. But they were gone. I didn't find them. I thought, maybe they would take me in. Maybe they would help me understand who I am. But now I feel even more lost." The lioness pressed her head against his neck, her eyes wet with unspoken fear. "My son, you are not lost. You are mine. The stars above may tell you that you were born different, but my heart tells me you were born for me. You are loved. You are safe. And that is enough." The giraffe closed his eyes, tears slipping silently down his face. Her words wrapped around him like warmth on a cold night. Yet, in the deepest corners of his soul, the question remained. He was cared for. Yes. He was loved. Yes. But was he truly where he belonged? And though he tried to silence it, a voice whispered back, "One day, you will know." The rains did not come. Day after day, the sun blazed mercilessly over the plains, drying rivers, withering grass, and turning the land into dust. The trees stood bare, their branches brittle, their leaves gone. The animals grew thin, herds moved far away, seeking water and food, and hunger crept into the hearts of the lions. The pride grew restless, their bellies empty. Even the strongest lion, Simba, grew sharp with anger. His roars shook the earth, echoing his frustration. Simba, growling, "We cannot wait any longer. Tonight, we hunt. Whatever we find, it will be ours." The lions stirred with agreement, their eyes burning with hunger. The young giraffe stood at the edge of the pride, chewing slowly on dry twigs. His heart tightened. He could see the sharpness in their bones, the hollowness in their eyes. And though he had leaves to eat, he felt their suffering, for they were his family too. That night, as the lions prepared for the hunt, his adoptive mother pressed her head against him. "Stay, my son. The hunt is not for you. Rest here. Be safe." He nodded, though his heart told him otherwise. When the lion slipped silently into the darkness, he followed, his long neck rising above the grass, careful to keep his steps hidden. Across the cracked riverbed they went, leaping over stones, their bodies moving like shadows. Up the rocky slope of the mountain they climbed, their paws silent, their eyes glowing in the night. And always, behind them, came the giraffe, unnoticed, uninvited, yet determined. At last, from the mountain's edge, the lions gazed down into a valley. There lay an animal village, small huts built of sticks and grass, paths trodden by countless hooves. Antelopes, zebras, and wildebeest huddled together in fear, knowing the lions had come. Simba's eyes gleamed. His muscles rippled as he crouched low. "Simba," a deep growl. "Tonight, we feast. Take whatever you can. Leave none behind." The lions roared in unison, their cries echoing across the valley, striking terror into the hearts of the animals below. The pride surged forward, thundering down the slope. But the giraffe froze. His breath caught in his throat, for among the village, weak and trembling, stood his real mother. The mother giraffe, thin from hunger, weary from searching for food, stumbled as she tried to shield younger calves behind her. Her eyes widened in horror as Simba charged toward her. The boy who had grown among lions, the child who never belonged, now faced the truth of who he was. His heart pounded, his legs shook, and then he ran, Giraffe shouting, "Stop!" His voice cracked, desperate, yet loud enough to pierce the night. The lions turned in shock. Simba skidded to a halt, his fangs bared, his eyes blazing with fury. Simba, snarling, "You dare stand in my way? You who cannot hunt! You, who are not lion?" The young giraffe planted his hooves firmly in the ground, his tall neck towering over Simba. His chest heaved, but his gaze did not waver. Giraffe shouting, trembling but brave, "She is my mother! You will not touch her!" The animals gasped. The lions roared in outrage, but Simba's eyes narrowed. He saw not just a frightened calf before him, but courage pure and unshaken. For a long moment, silence filled the valley. Then slowly, Simba stepped back. He growled low in his throat, his hunger raging against his mercy. But at last, he turned, Simba, coldly. "Very well, she lives. But remember this, little one. Mercy has a price." And with that, Simba led the lions away, their stomachs still empty, their hearts filled with anger. The pride scattered back into the darkness, leaving the village untouched. The giraffe's legs trembled, his body weak, but his spirit burned with fire. He rushed to his mother, the mother who had given him life. Mother Giraffe, voice breaking, tears streaming. "My child, my baby, it is you. You've grown so tall, so strong. I thought I had lost you forever." She pressed her head against him, her tears soaking his fur, and for the first time, the young giraffe felt whole. But behind him, his lion family disappeared into the night, hungry, heartbroken, betrayed. And his adoptive mother, the lioness who had raised him, walked away in sorrow, her heart cracked with love and loss. For in saving one mother, the giraffe had broken the other. The night was heavy with silence. The lions had vanished into the darkness, leaving behind only the echo of their roars and the dust of their departure. The young giraffe stood trembling, his long legs unsteady, his heart beating like a drum in his chest. Beside him, his true mother wept with relief, her tears glistening under the pale light of the moon. Mother Giraffe, whispering, "My child, I feared I would never see you again, but here you are, brave and strong." "You saved me." The giraffe pressed his neck against hers, feeling the warmth of her love, so different from the pride, yet somehow the same. For love was love whether it came from a mother of spots or a mother of claws. But deep within, the young giraffe's heart ached, for while he had found one mother, he had lost another. The lioness who had raised him, who had held him close at night, who had fed him when he was helpless, she was gone. He lifted his eyes to the mountains, wondering if she still walked there, sorrow heavy in her chest. The famine lingered. Days passed slowly, filled with hunger and struggle. But the young giraffe remained with his true mother. Together they searched for leaves, nibbling at what little they could find. At first, the mother giraffe looked at her son with wonder. She had missed his first steps, his first words, his growing years. She traced the length of his neck, marveling at how tall he had become. Mother Giraffe, softly, smiling through tears, "You are everything I dreamed you would be. Strong, kind, beautiful." But she also saw the shadow in his eyes, the weight of unspoken memories. At night, as they rested beneath the stars, the young giraffe whispered his heart aloud. "Mother, I was raised by lions. They loved me, even though I was different. They gave me food when I could not eat, warmth when I was cold, safety when I was small. I loved them. I still love them." He paused, his voice trembling.